What is information literacy? You know, I'm not exactly sure.
How much you know about information?
Information literacy would be literacy, information.
Not just the printed word anymore.
Interact with the technology.
Like the internet and things like that.
For the ability of people to get information from different sources, whether it's
Something of an
I
overload.
get my information from the library, from the computers, from my boss.
You can get information almost any and everywhere. You can look outside at the sky and get information.
The miracle of the human animal is the ability to extract highly complex information from anything our five senses can relate to our brains. Never before in human history has so much information been pushed at us. Never before in human history has so much information been available in storage, not just to the elite few, but to anyone who is able to access it. We're living in a time when the total amount of human knowledge is increasing exponentially. Information is being developed, assimilated, reshaped, and redistributed at a rate unimaginable even a generation ago. Say you were living in 1400. Well, you could probably get along pretty well in 1500 with the same information you had in 1400. Not a whole lot changed for the average Joe. But a person living in 1900 would hardly recognize anything today.
Stock is up 54% in the quarter. The stock down today as Singapore Airlines
setting up on South 57 transition to the westbound side of the 91. You get traffic every time.
Every year there are 60,000 books published in the U.S. alone.
This is big stuff.
Last year there were 6,000 pieces of new legislation. There are 2.1 billion web pages. There are 7 million new web pages every day.
Anybody who has access to a computer and a connection can, have input into the great dialogue. Anybody.
Half of all service workers are involved in gathering, analyzing, synthesizing, structuring, storing, and/or retrieving information.
The amount kids have to know in school today is phenomenal.
Like going into a library anymore isn't just going in and picking up a book. Going into a library now is the ability to go anywhere in the world with the one touch of a finger on a computer.
The Internet Archive contains collected information for historians, researchers, scholars, and at this time it contains about 14 terabytes of data. That's equal to about 1 billion pages of text. That is doubling every 6 months.
A mouse, a keyboard. If you're not using a computer, you're obsolete as a human being.
Your ability to function effectively in the 21st century is directly linked to your ability to increase your spot knowledge in wildly varied and often unanticipated areas quickly and efficiently. You must be able to find out. If you don't have the skills to find out, you will be left behind.
There's a lot of places you can go to get information, but the best place you can go is TV. I mean, you can learn about anything on TV. If you have cable, you can get like 2,000 channels.
Having skills enough to quickly access information is not enough.
You can learn all about animals, old music. You can learn about old music. You can even learn another language. They have sports and Spanish and
Food Network.
This is information. Is it accurate? It has official looking numbers. It's on television.
And it had a lot of lights on it. It had the red,
This guy says it's real.
green lights. That's what it looked like with flying saucers.
One of the attendees was a woman who says she's 400 years old and from the planet Venus. Another woman says she was instructed by her space alien brothers to undergo breast implant surgery.
Facts are information. You know, like the sun sets in the west, that kind of thing.
Quite frankly, the cupboard has been more than half empty.
Opinions are information. But opinions aren't necessarily facts. Neither are deceptions or rumors.
But they are all information. Now, this is the tricky part.
How do you know these answers are correct? What makes them correct? This little picture? Who is behind these correct answers to everything? Could be. Could also be.
Anyone can put up a website and they can put any information, true or false, that they want at that site.
Let's say I had to do a report on Martin Luther King. Let's see what I come up with. This is the kind of thing that can happen if you're researching things on the internet. Lots of different websites. Whoa. Ah, look at this graphic right here. It looks like it was put up by a real organization. It seems pretty official. It has historical writings. Is the truth about Martin Luther King? Ah, it has recommended books, which is good because I can do some further research by reading those books. But what you find here is this website is not what it seems like in the inside. Looks pretty official, but this is a white supremacist website talking about white supremacy. But you never know that just by looking at the website. That's the thing.
It's information. The question is it what you're looking for? In reality, information is information. No more, no less. It's up to you to determine if it's good or bad, relevant or irrelevant, honest or deceptive. Whether you're a student, a teacher, a priest, a biologist, car mechanic, whatever you are or hope to be, there is information being generated right now that will modify or completely change everything upon which you base your knowledge of the world. Your job, your grade, your quality of life will depend to a large part on your information literacy.